A pleasant day to our dear fifth CareCon panelists and co-researchers, and to my co-proponents, Dr. Florencia B. Gloriani and Dr. Alicia P. Francisco. I am Mrs. Josefa B. Gatdula, the main proponent of the action research entitled Bridging the Gap in Reading through the Yesterandi Reading Project amidst the pandemic. Now, let us go to Introduction and Rationality. The COVID-19 pandemic deeply affected how schools and families functioned through the most of 2020. In particular, school closures meant parents took on a more central role in their children's learning. This study analyzed the restaurant reading project strategies utilized in Alfonso District from grade 1 to grade 10 learners. This project, done in an online tutorials in the modular distant learning during the lockdown. The study uses the modified from the 5-point Likert scale to 4-point scale questionnaires and two-tailed t-test to know the significant differences of the project in the reading level of the respondents and to avoid neutralism. Sending online questionnaire to respondents, parents and guardian results revealed that an online questionnaires 240 parents reported 10 learners from 24 schools from grades 1 to 10. Now, let us go to research questions. 1. What is the reading profile of the participants at the beginning of the study? 2. What is the reading profile of the participants at the end of the study using the Yesterand Reading Project? 3. Is there any significant difference between the reading profile of the participants at the beginning and ending of the Yesterandi program and other reading project and programs of the school? What implication can be drawn from the findings of this action research? Now, let us go to the proposed innovation, intervention, and strategy. One of the innovations, yes, around the reading project. Bear with Cups, where the policemen are teaching in one of the schools in the district of Alfonso. Or Be Enjoy and Reading. Then the Spark, or the reading banner in the division of Cavite. Reading 101 with BCPC in one of the schools in Alfonso, Cavite. Project CBEAR, or the Community-Based Assistance in Intensive Reading. The intervention and strategies. The sample consisted of a total of 240 participants or 10 participants from any grade level in grade 1 to grade 10 in 24 public elementary schools in the district of Alfonso. Respondents were selected on the basis of frustration level or non-reader in the Phil Erie result last February 2020. Parents were given reading materials to supervise the reading progress of their children. So here are the videos and the photos taken during the reading program. Now let us go to sampling. 240 respondents were selected on the basis of frustration level in the field area result last October 2020. The sample is purposive, therefore the statistics given in the analysis are indicative rather than conclusive, using the qualitative research. Here are the 24 schools in the district of Alfonso. From each were 10 participants, and all are reading with all the reading level under frustration. Alfonso Central School, Amayong Elementary School, Bilog Elementary School, Backstate Elementary School, Esperanza Elementary School, Katitinga Elementary School, Mangas Elementary School, Marahan Elementary School, Matagbak Elementary School, Paho Elementary School, Palumlum Elementary School, Pansin Elementary School, Rosa G. Acuña Memorial Elementary School, Sikat Elementary School, Sinaliw Elementary School, Sulsug Elementary School, Taiwanak Elementary School, Upli Elementary School, Alfonso Integrated School, Backstate National High School, Quezon National High School, Titinga Integrated School, Luksuhin Integrated School, and Taiwanak National High School. A total of 240 participants. Now let us go to the data gathering method. Adhering to the standard operating procedures of Department of Education, Division of Cavite, the researchers asked the permission from the school principals of 24 public elementary schools in the district of Alfonso. Data collected were from main sources including field theory, pre- and post-tests, weekly fluency check and comprehension questions, as well as collecting pupils' work. Data collected by researchers every week for 16 weeks to show if and what progress the pupils in fourth grading were making after the intervention program. The teachers from grades 1 to 10 began the implementation of Project Restaurant Reading last November 2020, concluded in April 2021, but by giving their classes each a different pre-assessment according to pupils' reading level using the Feel Eerie results. The Joyride and Spears booklet were used to track their progress and validated online using the following platform: FB Messenger and phone calls with a very limited face-to-face whenever the learners were not reached. Now let us go to data gathering method. The data gathered were coded, tallied, summarized, and organized into tabular presentations from 24 schools. In order to measure the significant differences in effectiveness, weighted mean and paired zetas were used. A modification made to suit researchers' need on the questionnaire was done with a 4-point arbitrary scale pattern for the Likert to eliminate neutralism, with verbal interpretations and statistical limits used are presented as follows and translated in Filipino to suit the respondents. The two Table 2 modified 4 modified arbitrary scale in the data analysis. 5, having fully satisfied, fully agree, sobrang nasisihan, with a verbal interpretation and statistical limit of 4.51 to 5.0. 4 means highly satisfied, highly agreed, nasisiyahan, 3.51 to 4.50. 3, fairly satisfied, fairly agree, medyo nasisiyahan with 2.5 to 3.5. 2, poorly satisfied, fully agree, hindi nasisiyahan or 1.51 to 2.50. Now let us go to the findings. All the respondents of the study are in frustration level. To establish the pupils' reading level, the following data were gathered and serve as initial basis for the research. What's the reading profile of the participants at the beginning of the study? All of the 240 respondents of the study are in frustration level in the Feel-Eerie test results in school year 2020-2021. Reading skills are foundational building blocks at this age, and the earlier the pupils with low reading skill receive interventions, the greater interventions will impact the pupils' reading careers. By Hauscher, Hansen, and Dumas. 2011. The reading teachers in the Rationality Reading Project have conviction that bawat batang Alfonseño bumabasa will use innovations, strategies, move toward an online platform due to COVID-19 pandemic. The project will run with an end in mind to endorse a flagship reading program of depth and order number 45 series 2002, Every Child a Reader program, and the vision of Cavite's Spark, sustainable and practical approach in reading for kids to lighten the reading level of the respondents. Another findings. What is the reading profile of the participants at the end of the study using the Rationality reading project? The table below shows fill a post test result in school year 2021-2020 of the respondents. 188 or 78.3% were able to reach the instructional level after the Rationality reading project, while 49 or 20.41 were still under frustration level. 3 or 1.25% of the participants were found out to be no longer participating in school, were found out to be at the end of the school year due to parents' inability to give home facilitations. They need to work for a living and an ability to submit needed outputs in modular distant learning. Table below beside shows the results using the PRT test. The mean of pre-test minus post-test equals to negative 1.23 with a 95% confidence. Of this difference from negative 1.43 to negative 1.03, the two-tailed p-values is less than 0.0001. This difference is considered to be extremely statistically significant. After the interventions were completed, a gain of 82% from the MPS has proved that restaurant the reading project had an impact on the respondents. It is important to teach the strategies by naming strategy and how it should be used, modeling through the think aloud process, group practice, partner practice, and independent use of the strategy, according to Duke and Pearson 2005. Reading skills are foundational building blocks at this age, and the earlier the pupils with low reading skill receive interventions, the greater the intervention will impact the pupils' reading careers. Hauscher, Hansen, and Domas, 2011. The use of Yesterday Reading Project Facebook page with video tutorials have engaged the respondents and reading coordinators were able to closely monitor online via FB Messenger, video call, and phone calls. For the findings in number 4, what are the perceptions of the participants and the home facilitators of the project? Data revealed that out of 240 parents, guardians reported the results indicated that 39% or 94 fully agree in the services they receive in the Yes Random Reading Project, while 142 or 59% of parents highly agree in the services they receive in the project, while 4 or 2% of the respondents disagree with the project. This has something to do with the data of learners who were included as respondents have been reported from the Learning Information System, or the RLIS, to be no longer in school at the end of the school year. The data show that most parents were highly involved in the reading project, though other parents need to work for a living and having a hard time giving home facilitation. The reading teachers were able to bridge the gap. However, in line with the digital divide literature, the lower the parent's social position, the lower the digital equipment, and the less the parents felt capable of giving home facilitation using the Yes Around the Reading FB page. Now let us go to the research limitations and implications. This research is limited to Alfonso District respondents with reading online volunteer tutors using online validation and face-to-face to on-site reading sections in a community. Now, let us go to conclusion. The study have turned out a positive conclusion to Yes to Run the Reading Project. The reduction in the number of learners under frustration level by 188 or 78.3% displays a great impact. It contributed affirmative effect on the succeeding study. Other strategies and tools for schools have been found to be of good help in helping the struggling learners. Now let us go to the recommendation. Education authorities and education institutions should seriously consider the innovation strategies and intervention they has run the Reading Project to improve the reading level of struggling learners, especially in times of COVID-19 pandemic. In this pandemic, online validation can be done through different platforms like FB Messenger, Google Meet, Google Classroom, and phone calls. Looking forward to the use of Yesterday Reading application tool, which can be available online and offline and downloadable reading tutorials in FB page to be purchased by the local government where monitoring and validation will be on a website. In order to help the learners to acquire the skills necessary to read even in time of pandemic. Now let's go to references. So to mention a few, Blay R. Mercado, K. Villacorta 2009, Relationship between Motivation and Second Language Reading Comprehension among 4th grade Filipino students. Philippine ESL Journal, Volume 2, February 2009. DepEd Official Gazette, DepEd to assess reading skills of public school students. So that's all. The end of our presentation. Yes, to run the reading project. Thank you, and I will leave you a quote. Bawat batang Alponseño bumabasa by Mayor Randy A. Salamat.